Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and for today's video we're going to be talking about my February bullet journal setup. I'm so excited to share this with you guys because this is something I've never really seen before. Usually I would go on Pinterest and on Instagram and look at other people's bullet journal for the previous years or previous months, but for this month I'm so excited because I actually just kind of came up with it myself. It's not for everyone, I know, but once you know the explanation and everything, then it'll kind of make sense to you. So yeah, I also did a 2021 bullet journal setup, so if you haven't checked that out, then please do. It's so cool, and it's my first kind of bullet journal video style kind of thing that I tried with that video. So if you guys are interested, then please check that video out. So yeah, if you want to see my February bullet journal setup, then please just keep on watching. Okay, so for the month of February, I always hate the month or setting up bullet journal for the month of February. I don't know why. It's just every time I do it, I feel so unproductive, or even the thought of like having to draw something that is like Valentine's Day related just doesn't really motivate me. I don't know why. So this year I wanted to go really in on it, and I wanted to pour all of my ideas and just really put a lot of effort into it. I feel like the more effort you put in your bullet journal, the more you're gonna get out of it, especially when you're into drawings. And if you actually like doodling on your bullet journal, it's just more inspiring to me. Just like my month of January, I wasn't able to film it just because January was just so hectic, and just coming from Christmas, it just didn't work out. But this month I'm so excited to film it. It took me so long to film this month's bullet journal. Just took me kind of 2 weekends to film it, but here we are. Finally, I finished it last night, and I finally have the time to sit down and actually talk about it. And I also just want to talk about my inspiration for this month. It's kind of gonna look so weird, and you're probably gonna think, what is that, or what does that mean really? If you don't know, this is kind of like a landscape plan. If you don't know me yet, or you don't have me on Instagram, I work for an engineering company, but we are the landscape group or landscape team. My boss, who's the landscape architect, he designs a bunch of stuff, and then I will have to go and AutoCAD it or make it look pretty in Photoshop just so it's presentable to other people. And that's actually where this idea came from. I don't know how I even thought about this idea, but I was just thinking of February, and I know I need this month to be more than just Hearts and Valentine's Day, and I love those people who can make it work. But for me, every time I do like a Valentine's Day connected theme, I just feel like the whole month I'm not motivated, or I hate looking at it. I didn't want to draw something that I was gonna hate looking at for the whole month. I don't know if someone else have done it, but just from my personal experience, I haven't seen anything like it, and I wanted to just try it out. Not gonna lie, midway through my bullet journal, I really started to hate it. Maybe because it reminded me of work, or just the amount of trees I drew in this notebook is freaking insane. Like, I'm looking at it now, and yeah, while filming it, my hand was cramping so bad. I forgot how much work these trees needed. I can find them. I'll pop some work that I did in college and just some of my graphic experiences, just so you guys have a little bit of background of what I was trying to do. My trees are not so good anymore, not gonna lie. And also, I didn't draw them in tracing paper, so it was kind of hard to blend colors. But anyways, it was such a great experience. It was so much fun, and it just kind of sparked my creative side a little bit more than just drawing regular doodles. So I was super inspired, and I just kind of kept going. I know it's not going to be for everyone, especially for those who like the minimalistic look or just a simple, very functional bullet journal. This style is definitely for someone more creative. If you enjoy more doodles, or if you like more colors in your bullet journal, this style is definitely for you. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at my bullet journal. Hey guys, so sorry for that super long introduction. Now let's begin bullet journaling, and hopefully you have your pens out and your notebooks out, all your markers, and hopefully we can just doodle together and do our February bullet journal. I've never filmed something like this, and looking at this video, it's just looking like it's such a super long video. So it's definitely gonna be a talk through video. At first I was kind of awkward and I didn't really know what to say, but then I just said, you know what, it's gonna be fine. I know a lot of people like to journal. I mean, I do. I like to journal when someone is talking in the background, so hopefully you guys don't find me super annoying, and if you do, you can just probably mute me or just turn the volume down or whatever you need to do. So yeah, let's begin. For my bullet journal setup for the month of February, I wanted to do something super different, like I keep saying. And yeah, my first step is to obviously sketch out everything. In the beginning of my video, I showed you guys all the different pages that I drew on, and I definitely spent more time in the beginning of the pages, like my cover and my mood trackers, or my daily tracker. I spent so much time on the details, and I don't regret it. I do like setting my bullet journal up first, or even thinking what's going to be in there. I don't really like to go and just kind of wing it. Sometimes, depending on the styles, it works, but for this particular style, I didn't want to wing it because first I wanted it to look super good, and I didn't want it to look messy. And I know it does for some people, but I honestly enjoyed filming this so much, and not gonna lie, it was so much work. I think it took me 2 weekends to film this video. It was so long, and editing it is not harder, but it's just taking a while. And now I'm doing the talk through videos. At first I actually filmed a just me talking kind of video, like explaining, but then it didn't really work out, so I'm doing a talk through video. And plus, this video is so long. I honestly didn't realize how long all of my clips were, so I had to really speed it up. Usually I have way less detail on my bullet journal, especially my January. I think I showed it earlier. There's not a lot of details on there at all. It was like a bunch of squiggly lines, and I also enjoy those kind of bullet journal, especially if you're someone who doesn't like clutter in your bullet journal. You like it to be a little bit more functional, and a lot of people like minimalistic bullet journal, which I can never get on board with. It makes me feel so unmotivated. So hopefully if you're watching this, you also enjoy doodling a lot on your bullet journal, because otherwise you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video. I know it looks a little bit extra, but I'm a little bit extra on my bullet journal, so that's what you're dealing with. So anyways, me drawing a bunch of trees is what you're seeing on your screen right now. And before I use any colors, I always try it out, and that's something I would really suggest for you to do, because I've done it so many times when I think that the cap of the marker matches the marker and it just completely doesn't, especially for the cheaper marker, which obviously the Tombos are okay, but a lot of the markers I own, which are super affordable, they just don't match the color at all. And we all love Crayola super tip markers, but wow, they are so not accurate when it comes to the caps of the markers. So I always make it a hobby to swatch it first before using it. But these Tombos, I kind of know them because these are the colors I usually use, because I do a lot of like plant theme for my bullet journal, and you see me just sketching it out. And honestly, at this moment, I was so tired. My hands were so tired, and I was doubting if I can even make it through this whole bullet journal. And yeah, I think I'm almost done. I'm adding the shadows here, and wow, it was a struggle to get through this video, and my camera kept dying for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm just adding a white marker. If you don't know this trick, wow, even if it doesn't make sense, just keep on adding that white marker. It makes such a difference. And yeah, I'm quoting Morgan Harper Nichols. If you don't know her Instagram, you have to check it out. It's so good, and it's filled with art and inspiration, and all her quotes and her artwork inspires me so much. And yeah, I finished up my cover page with that. Really simple, but I wanted to get a positive quote in there. every time I do a cover now, I always want a positive quote. It just inspires me to be a little bit more positive. I don't read it every day, but I know it's there. And honestly, in the middle of drawing the cover page, I didn't think it was going to be successful, but looking at it from afar and looking at it from my screen editing this, it actually looks okay. And I don't know if it was worth all that effort, but I guess it is. And for my mood tracker, or just my daily tracker, wow, this page was crazy. I almost didn't go for it. I almost didn't even want to keep filming this part. It was just so stressful for me. And wow, I was struggling to number everything, and it just fits so awkwardly. I think I'm gonna add like a square somewhere. Oh my god, look at those squares. And I think I ended up not needing the other square, which is so stupid of me, but it was just so funny. And yeah, at the end of this, it was a success, but this is me trying to figure out what I'm doing, because as you can see, there's a lot of extra space on the side, and I tried filling it with furniture, tables, and stuff like that, which really elevates your drawing. If you're ever drawing something like this, or like a landscape related drawing, just make sure you add furnitures or anything that kind of makes it look realistic, deck especially. So I think I used one of the spaces for the February highlights, and then the other one I just started filling it with deck, I think. But yeah, numbering these little pebbles were so challenging, and honestly, I didn't think I was gonna finish it, but I just pushed through, and I was like, you know what, it has to work out, because otherwise all of this was for nothing. And at this time, I've drawn so much trees, I had to push through. So I just kept going at those trees. And yeah, I ended up, like I said, doing deck for, I think, the left side with the big space, and then the other one was just highlights. And you know, it's so disappointing when I was watching this, because I wish I had more varieties in my trees, especially the shapes and the actual outline of the trees. There's a lot of trees you can make. Like if you go on Google and if you search up like plan view trees PNG, which means there's no background, hopefully it's a transparent photo. That's what PNG means if you don't know. And there is a lot of ideas, and it sucks that I didn't really go and inspire myself enough, and so I only had this like really weird shape trees. And I know from afar it looks good, but every time I see my bullet journal now, I'm just like, oh, I wish I did so much better. But it's okay, it is what it is, and this is the first time I'm doing it, so the next one will be so much better, I promise you. And yeah, this is what I came up with. It looks pretty good, and thank God I had to have my tracker, because otherwise I would just have added more and more trees. And here we go. This is my favorite page ever. This is the 1 line a day. If you don't have a 1 line a day on your monthly bullet journal, just try it out. It's such a nice way to end your day. I try to do it every day religiously, but sometimes it gets too hard and I do 2 a day, or if I'm really behind, I just make sure it's not more than 3 days, because it gets hard to remember, and my memory is so bad when it comes to like short-term memory, or even something that happened like yesterday or what I ate yesterday. Oh wow, it's so bad. So I try not to do that, and plus I like to do it every day, so I get that feeling like I'm recording what I'm feeling that day. And this is honestly more rewarding than if you were to do like a mood tracker, which I still do. I love tracking my mood, but this one makes so much more sense, and I can get a sense of what I'm feeling that day. And some days you'd be surprised, but it's super hard to find something good. And 1 line a day could be anything, but I try to make it as positive as possible. And a lot of the days it's usually a positive one, but some days it's so hard to find a positive. But because I have to do this, it's a nice way to find something good that happened that day, and there's usually something you could squeeze out of your bad days. But yeah, this is becoming one of my favorite page in my bullet journal setup. and my January one was super successful. It's definitely filled, and I wasn't late or anything, probably because it's only January and it was my first time doing it. I think I saw this idea on Pinterest, or I was watching someone on YouTube do their bullet journal, and they had a one line a day, which I thought was so cool, and I can't believe I didn't think about it before, or I don't remember doing it. I have to check my 2019, but I don't think I've ever done it, or if I have tried, then I probably would have failed because I got lazy. But yeah, that is my favorite page, and even the graphics on this page is my favorite because it's just so simple, and I needed a clear space for my daily reflection anyway. So my one line a day is definitely my favorite out of any page. And jumping on to my first week of February, I didn't realize how much easier it would be to set up the weeks, because first of all, you need it to be simple, although mine is gonna look extra, I'm warning you now. But I obviously needed space for the month, or what? I needed space for the days. And wow, I did not think about that at all when I was sketching this. It left me with so little space, and that's something I regret and something that I learned from, which I'm so excited to jump on to my next bullet journal, because I think my next bullet journal will be much simpler, just because I always like to alternate my bullet journal. So if it was a busy one this month or a very crowded bullet journal, I really like to convert into a simple, more not minimal, but just a less crowded bullet journal for the next month, just so I don't get burned out or I don't get tired of it. And it's just nice to have varieties on your bullet journal. So yeah, you see me sketching out the pebbles that really could have been space for any notes, but I thought whatever. And oh my god, these awkward lines, I realized I marked that other space with Wednesday, so I needed space and I couldn't keep drawing the lines. So that's what I came up with. And again, if you don't have a white pen, you need it. It makes such difference, especially if you're in the graphic community and you do it for work or for school. I kid you not, the white pen is a signature. And yeah, it turned out to be very successful. And even when I was at school, if you don't know, I did landscape architectural technology when I was at NATE. It's a college in Edmonton. And it was so much fun. At first I didn't know what it was, but basically this is a lot of what we did, a lot of sketching. And when I discovered the white pen, which I don't even know how, maybe I think I watched it on YouTube or something like that, but I discovered the white pen, and after that a lot of the people in my class were asking how it looks so good, or like all of my trees. But I just said, you have to get the white pen. It's such a game changer. And they also come in the jelly rolls, although I trust the Signal one way better. It's just more liquidy. I don't know if you'll get what I mean, but the Signal one is just more liquidy, so it's easier to apply or write with. But the jelly roll one is thinner. I don't know if the Signal has a thinner one, but the jelly roll is just more precise, more clean. But again, I don't know what it is, but I've never had good luck with the white jelly roll, and it always scratches my marker underneath. And again, shadows, can never forget the shadows. And as you can see, as we go through the pages, I get lazier, and you see that there is less trees. And wow, this is me and my hand hurting. And if you didn't notice, my nail polish changed because this is the second weekend I'm doing it. My camera died and the battery died, so I just couldn't continue. So here I am, another Saturday or Sunday that I'm filming this, and you'll see that this particular page the next week is such a different style. This is called a planting plan, or this is what I'm going for. It's called a planting plan, and it's much more simple. It needs to be neat. There can't be any colors. There can't be any furnitures. Well, I guess depending on a firm, but usually there's no furnitures. But I wanted to do this because, wow, I didn't have to do any crazy trees or any colors, and it was just so simple. I even added like labels. That's usually how it would look like, and then I just added a days. I know this page is not the nicest looking one, but for some reason it gives me such a peace to actually have a white page and to actually have space. And I think I'm also gonna do that for one more page because wow, I couldn't draw any more graphic trees. But for this page, the next week is I think another colorful one, but I wanted this again to be super simple. I wanted space, but it did not turn out like that. Ugh, this is just another one that's very, very sketchy and colorful. But this one is also another style. I ended up not doing individual trees, but I kind of did it with like a loose, sketchy feel. But you know what? It didn't really turn out as I would want it to be. Usually when I do sketches like this where it's really messy and I wanted like a sketchy 5-minute vibe with this sketch, it didn't turn out like that because usually I would do this in like a trace paper, but it wasn't trace paper, and wow, were they not blending. Like, look at me struggle with the dark one. So I just again salvaged my way with the white pen. It will always save you. And then obviously I had to add the little seating, the wood seating, and I know they're not the same size, but it is what it is. I added some furnitures again, and this is me kind of freaking out because there's not enough space and it was looking weird to me. It was looking ugly. So wow, I tried saving myself and labeled some of the stuff because it would usually have labels, and then I added string lights. It looked good, but look at my Wednesday, it's just not existent. I don't know how I'm gonna write anything in it. It's just blocked with string lights. And again, one of my favorite page, just like my one line a day, is the brain dump. This is kind of like my note page, and this is just because first I like having a blank page at the end of the month so I can write notes, or if I'm in a meeting at work, then I write it down there. But this is where I do all my notes, and again, I'm doing the planting plan style, so it's just neat. And I also added some labels. I shouldn't have, but I did. And yeah, it's looking super simple. And I think that's it for my February bullet journal. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, or more random videos, stuff that doesn't really have to do anything with bullet journal, and if you just want to see random life events that is happening in my life, then please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like bullet journal videos, so I know if I should post more or maybe hold off my ideas just for Instagram. And yeah, I have my personal Instagram and my bullet journal Instagram, so if you only are interested in bullet journal, then that page is great. I don't really post anything other than stationery there, or my weekly spreads. I post there every Monday, or I really try to every weekly spread, but some days the spread are just like not interesting, so I don't post it. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you had an amazing weekend, and yeah, I hope you have an awesome February, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Mwah.